All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent of these charges. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit with a warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. And if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And now to each and every one of you there at the jail, to please raise your right hands and be sworn.
Wait.
Y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When I call your name, you can step forward to the podium, and this is Mr. Lambert.
Yes.
Come on forward, sir. And sir, what's your date of birth?
10/3/78.
1 second. Okay. Okay, and you're here, Mr. Lambert, on a recommitment order that was signed by Judge Merritt, so he has ordered you held without bond, and he's due in court today, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you haven't been there yet?
I was just down there. They brought me back up here.
Okay, so they'll take you back down there. Did you have a public defender, sir?
Yes, it is.
All right, you want to continue with the public defender? All right. I'll appoint the public defender. The bond is no bond. We'll send you back to see Judge Merritt, all right?
All right.
All right, thank you.
I guess February 19th is not the returnable court date.
No, they're doing whatever you're going to do today.
Okay.
Brittany Wilson. Morning, Miss Wilson. What's your date of birth?
7992.
Miss Wilson, the charge this morning is battery being domestic in nature. I'm going to find that probable cause does not exist for that charge. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, therefore. You do have to come back to court on February 19th, okay? It may be that the state decides to charge you because they have information that's not available to me this morning. That we'll find out no later than the 19th of February. But we're going to let you out today. For now, you don't need a lawyer, but make sure you're in court on February 19th, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then Jerry Montiaca. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
012592, sir.
Jerry, same thing. It's a charge of domestic battery. I'm finding there is no probable cause for the charge today, and I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Same thing. You do have to be in court on the 19th of February. I'm not restricting the contact between you and Miss Wilson in any way, but be advised that if law enforcement has to come back, they'll arrest you guys again, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so February 19th, make sure you're there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And state just, I don't know if you read those, but the deputy in each of them said that there was no way to determine a primary aggressor.
I did, Your Honor.
Cop speak for I can't determine PC in my mind.
I noted it, so the attorney who gets the fine will see my notes.
That was also Deputy 1906. You might want to pass that word on.
Yes, sir.
All right, Karen Gaskins. Morning, Miss Gaskins. What's your date of birth?
8191.
All right, Ms. Gaskins, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You can hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD for you. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I am going to change your date. They told me the 19th of February. It'll be the 12th. The public defender will come see you before you go to court, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Andrea Ramsey. Ms. Ramsey, what's your date of birth?
12/11/73.
All right, Ms. Ramsey, you're hearing a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for 4 counts. One count, criminal use of personal information, personal identification information. 1 count of fraudulent use of a credit card, or 2 counts, and 1 count of petty theft. 2 counts of fraudulent use of identification. 1 credit card, 1 petty theft. So as to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, and then state what can you tell me.
It looks like she has an open case for possession of heroin of Hillsborough County that was filed on December 9th, 2019. An adjudication for possession of controlled substance and paraphernalia, 2015, Hillsborough. Adjudication petty theft, 2013, Hillsborough. Adjudication possession of cannabis, 2010. Oh, and it's less than 20 grams, Hillsborough. An action was dismissed for contempt of court, 2009, out of Hillsborough. Adjudication contempt of court, 2008, out of Hillsborough. Withhold for petty theft, 2008, out of Hillsborough. Withhold cannabis, less than 20 grams. And paraphernalia, 2008, out of Hillsborough. Withhold possession of drug paraphernalia, 2003, out of Hillsborough.
That's good. Ms. Ramsey, I have an address for you on Gronto Lake Road in Brandon. Is that where you live?
Yes, it is.
How long have you lived there?
6 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, trying for disability.
Okay. And then, Rebecca, what's the right date for judge, or whatever the circuit court is for today?
It would be February 19th.
At 1:15
Yes, sir.
in courtroom D. There we go. All right. Andrea, I'm going to leave the bonds per the warrant, which is a total of $3,500. You'll be back in court on the 19th of February. If you bond out, you should contact the public defender right away. If you can't get out, they'll come see you at the jail before you go to court, all right?
One quick question.
Sure.
I have another court date in Hillsborough County on the same day.
Right? You have a public defender down there?
Yes, I do.
Then you should contact that person right away, too, and let them know what's going on, okay?
I don't have the information on me.
Okay, well, then contact somebody who can get it for you, because that's what you got to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Danielle Saucedo-Cano. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
April 15, 1985.
All right. I have a warrant for you out of Sumter County. It's the judge that signed it apparently determined that you did not appear in court when you were supposed to and set your bond at no bond. I can't change that. We'll notify the good folks in Sumter County that you're here and ready to go. I will give them 5 days to come get you. It doesn't take 5 with Sumter, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me and we'll find out what the problem is, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anthony Chatton. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/12/1962.
All right, Anthony, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'm going to appoint the PD. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm going to have you back in court on February 9th. PD will come see you before that and see if we can get this worked out, all right?
Your Honor, is the 9th, ain't the 9th to Sunday?
I'm sure in February 7th.
7th. Sorry, 7th. It should be
Thank
the
you.
7th. Very good. Thank you. Tim Deal.
Right here. Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/6/1957.
So you're also here on a warrant for a violation of probation that I signed, so I found probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
No, I'll represent myself because I don't understand how I didn't even know I was on parole.
All right. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I'm not going to change that. I'll have you back in court on the 19th of February. And we'll see where we go from there. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Get a little piece of paper or something that I gotta leave back.
Chelsea Garrett. Morning, Miss Garrett. What's your date of birth?
February 9th, 1996.
You're hearing a warrant I signed, apparently for failing to appear in my court on 2 charges, driving on a suspended and no motor vehicle registration. Ms. Jungbauer, is this something she can resolve today?
Yes, Judge, the state would offer an adjudication, credit time served for the 2 days spent in the Hernando County Jail, client's court costs, cost prosecution.
Young lady, if you'd like to resolve your case today, you can plead no contest. If you'll do that, I would adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the jail, which you've already done. There'd be a fine and court cost. You'd be released today, and this is over. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes.
You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this case today?
Yes.
Case number 19 CT 427 as to the charge in count 1 that you drove knowing your license was suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest. No plead no contest, Chelsea?
Yes.
And as to the charge that the vehicle didn't have a tag on it, how do you wish to plead? You want to plead no contest?
Yes.
I'll accept those pleas, find they were freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on both counts. 2 days in the county jail on each count. 2 days served on each count. Fine and court cost in count 1 is $450. Count 2 is $88. Your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, young lady. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you're free to go, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. And win.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/12/1982.
All right. I've got a number of charges for you today. I have, it looks like 8 counts of possession of paraphernalia. I have 1 count of felony possession of marijuana. I have 3 counts of possession of fraudulent ID. I have 1 count possession of marijuana with intent. 1 count possession of cocaine, and 1 count of keeping a vehicle for the purpose of the sale of marijuana. There's probable cause for all of those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll point the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Not showing any other in-state history. Out-of-state, I'm showing an assault from 2002 with no disposition. Assault with a dangerous weapon, 2003, no disposition. A cannabis charge where he got a suspended 6-month plea bargain, but I'm not sure if he was adjudicated or not, 2011. 2012, driving while license suspended is dismissed. There was a 2015 case involving a drug violation near school. That was no pros, driving while license suspended, dismissed, and a guilty disposition for possession with intent to distribute. 2011, sale of opiates, no disposition. 2009, no pros for reckless conduct. Adjudicated guilty for driving while license suspended 2011. Adjudicated guilty 2011 driving while license suspended. A willful obstruction of law enforcement officer was dismissed in 2017, and an action appears to be open, but I'm not 100% sure, out of Georgia for aggravated assault from 2018.
Okay. All right. So, sir, I have an address for you on Easy Street in Brunswick, Georgia. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
2 years.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I was working in nail salons.
Okay. And do you have an open criminal case in Georgia pending right now?
Yes, sir.
And what's that charge?
Attempted murder, aggravated assault, dangerous weapon.
Okay. And you're out on bond on those charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. And okay. At the jail, have we had any contact with Georgia yet about this gentleman?
I don't have specifics regarding the charges, but we do have a hold for them.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, Mr. Wynn, is I'm going to hold you without bond on all counts until we can sort out what's going on in Georgia. It sounds like they have a hold in any event, so that even if I set bonds and you posted them, you'd just be going back to Georgia. I'd like to give the folks here a chance to find out exactly what that's about. And then when you're back in front of Judge Merritt on the 19th of February, they can revisit the bond on these issues. If that's appropriate, the public defender is going to come see you at the jail prior to the 19th of February, so you can start talking about what happened here and what's going on in Georgia, all right?
All right.
Thank you.
First one, all the way down.
Eric Pumphrey. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
9987, sir.
All right, Eric, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. You found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date, Eric, to the 12th of February at 1:30. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Terrell Sanders. Morning, Mr. Sanders. What's your date of birth?
3/18/87.
So, Terrell, what you have here today is a writ of bodily attachment. That means that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $927. Do you have $927, Terrell?
I don't have it at this time. I have to get it after my paychecks at work.
Okay. Where are you working?
Right now I'm working for A&K Electrical in Dade City, and I also do a side employment with Floor Pros.
Okay. Is there any amount of cash, Mr. Sanders, that you could get to the jail today if it meant getting out on this charge?
I can probably come up with about $200 or $300. I have to call my girl once I get back to the pod.
Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do, Mr. Sanders. I'll find you in contempt for not paying child support. The sanction for that contempt is 10 days in the county jail starting today or until you get $200 cash to the jail. So give your girl a call, see if she can get the cash to the jail. If she does that, you'll get out as soon as the money's there if you've got nothing else pending. Of course, this doesn't clear up your child support issue. You still, when you get a chance, need to get yourself to child support enforcement and get this straightened out. If you don't get it straightened out, this process will start over again. You'll get arrested again, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly, step. Morning, Kelly. Date of birth?
9/8/85.
Kelly, it's one count of commercial burglary. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I represent myself.
All right, state what you got.
Showing an adjudication for trespass, October 22nd, 2019 out of Hernando. Adjudication for trespass also in October, but earlier. An action for another trespass in March of 2019 adjudicated. Violation of injunction, and that was also in 2019. He got 60 days. I know he got jail on those cases. I think he got approximately 30, 60 days.
Right.
There was an adjudication for petty theft 2018, criminal mischief, violation of injunction, petty theft, battery, trespass. In 2017, it was disorderly intoxication, violation of injunction. 2015, there was a violation of probation for DV battery. 2012, there was an FTA. 2010, there was cannabis, paraphernalia, driving while license suspended, fleeing to elude. There was a violation of probation in 2009 for VAT Leo. not sure if he has any out-of-state history.
That's okay. Kelly, I got an address for you on Meadow Road in Missouritown. Is that where you're living these days?
Yep.
How long you
Yes,
been
sir.
there? How long you been living there?
I've been living there all my life.
Okay. You got a job these
25
days?
years. 25 years I've been living there.
Do you have a job these days?
I help my mom around the house, take care of her grandkids and, which is my nieces and nephews, cook, clean,
Okay.
rake the yard, take out the trash, wash
Okay.
the cars, you know.
All right. Kelly, I'll set your bond at $1,000. I'll have you back in court on February 19th. Make sure you're there, all right?
All right.
Thank you. Chad Vaughn? Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/28/1984.
All right, Chad, I have a warrant for you out of the state of Illinois. The options for you this morning are this. As far as that warrant in Illinois is concerned, you are entitled to an extradition hearing. The point of the extradition hearing would be to determine if you're the right person and if the state of Illinois actually has a warrant for your arrest. While you wait for that to happen, you'll stay in the jail here in Hernando County. That process can take something like 60 days to get accomplished. At the end of that hearing, if we determine that you are the right person and there is a valid warrant, then at that point Illinois would have 15 days to come and get you. If you wish, you can waive your right to that hearing this morning. If you waive your right to that hearing this morning, the state of Illinois will be notified immediately that they have 15 days to come and get you. If in 15 days you're still here, they're going to bring you back to see me, and I'll find out if they're still planning to come or why they haven't come or whether we need to keep holding you or whatever the story is. So what I need from you today is to let me know if you'd like to have an extradition hearing set up, and we can start that process, or if you'd like us to put Illinois on the clock right now and give them 15 days.
Let's put them on the clock.
There you go. Sign that form. All right. So, Chad, we're going to teletype Illinois right away this morning. They're going to be told they have 15 days. If you're still here in 15, they're going to bring you back to see me, and I'm going to find out what's going on, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tyrell Washington. Morning, Mr. Washington. What's your date of birth?
11/3/84.
All right. Tyrell, I got a warrant here signed by Judge Merritt for Judge Toner. He found probable cause for the violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change it. We'll have you back in court on the 12th of February, Mr. Washington. PD will come see you before then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And Larry Lee. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
2/20/81.
There you got two charges. I've got a criminal mischief and an assault. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Stay with detail.
As an adjudication for possession of controlled substance in cannabis, 2019 out of Hillsborough. Adjudication for drug paraphernalia, 2017 out of Osceola. An action was dropped for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and criminal mischief in 2016 out of Hernando. Adjudication for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 2016 out of Hernando. A withhold for obstructing or imposing an officer without violence, 2014 out of Hillsborough. Withhold for cannabis, 2010 out of Hernando. An action was dropped in 2010 for possession of cannabis, possession of cocaine and paraphernalia out of Hernando. Adjudication in 2008 for driving while license suspended and no motor vehicle registration out of Hernando. A withhold, just no motor vehicle registration, two cases in 2002, and he does have delinquency charges involving escape from a commitment facility, violation of command control, petty theft, marijuana, cannabis, paraphernalia, and battery toting.
Okay. And Mr. Lee, where you been staying lately? You been living outdoors or staying with somebody? What's going on?
I live with somebody.
Okay. What's that address?
It's I just moved there. I'm not sure exactly the house number.
Okay, what's the
It's
street?
it's on Suncrest Drive.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
Part time. I'm presently working with somebody trimming trees.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is leave the bonds per the schedule, which is 1,000 on the criminal mischief and 500 on the assault. Condition of your bond, however, is that while this case is pending, you're going to have no contact with Ariel Logan. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through social media, don't go where she lives, don't go where she works, you don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked, and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants it, so if you answer the phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should hang up the phone, or you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She might go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tell you the charges are dropped, you should not have contact. I'll have you back in court on February 19th. If you get out, Mr. Lee, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Dale, that's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Gentlemen,